Hello, I'm Dr. Jane Simington. I have a background in both nursing and psychology, and I specialize in grief and trauma therapy. I'm also the mother of a son who died when he was 13 years of age. When my son was killed, there were few who were able to offer me the support that I felt was helpful to me. I recognized that these were caring people, but I also knew, even in those times of sorrow, that those who tried to help me knew little about the effects of traumatic grief, and they lacked the skills to help me. Some of the things that they said and did I found hurtful. And on a few occasions, some of the things that were said to me were actually harmful. As I moved through my grief and healing, I made a commitment to advance the knowledge and skills of those who offer support to grieving people. I do that so that grievers can be helped more, so that they can be helped to move through their grief experiences more effectively than I was helped. To meet this goal, I developed the Grief Support Certification Training Program. In this program, I provide those who are learning how to provide grief help to others. I offer them effective knowledge and healing. Since 2004, I have delivered the Grief Support Certification Training Program locally, nationally, and internationally. And I have certified hundreds of professionals and semi-professionals who are now making a significant and positive difference in the lives of grievers. And now, because of worldwide demand, and starting today, I am opening registration for this same training to be delivered as an online program. During the Grief Support Certification online training, you learn that the end result of grief support can depend on whose hands it is in. Simply put, this means that caring in and of itself can actually hurt or even harm grievers. In the Grief Support Certification online training, you will learn to be a caring, knowledgeable, and skilled provider of grief support. I'd like to give you a brief overview of some of the content that you will gain in the Grief Support Certification online training. In the first unit, you will learn some of the significant things about the brain and the nervous system and how that applies to grief. Most importantly, in that unit, you will learn why we now do what we do in grief therapy, so that you learn that it's not only about talk therapy, but you will also learn to use therapeutic art, visualization, and energy work to help the griever. In Unit 2, you will learn how to provide grief therapy and support in a way that is safe and effective. One of the major mistakes that untrained people do is to provide grief therapy that is not safe. In Unit 3, you will learn about the physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual responses to grief. and you will learn effective ways to manage these symptoms and to help the griever heal from those manifestations of grief. In Unit 4, you will study the effects of grief across the lifespan. You will examine how grief affects children differently than adults. And you will also examine how grief differs for men and women and for those who are in their elder years. In Unit 5, you will learn ways to support emotionally the dying client and to offer help and support to the family that are assisting the person as they move through the process of dying. In Unit 6, you will learn to use counseling skills that are appropriate and effective. You will advance your ability to communicate with the griever as well as with the dying person. Unit 7 is about self-care. It's about how you yourself, as a grief counselor, take care of yourself when you are listening to many grief stories, and sometimes many grief stories in one day. So that's a snapshot of the content that you will learn as you move through taking the Grief Support Certification online training program. Do you want to be an effective grief counselor? Do you want to have the knowledge and skills to make a positive and therapeutic difference in the lives of grieving persons? If so, the Grief Support Certification online training is definitely for you.